Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 12 of Ultimate Exotics, the review series for the top level supercars of GT6. And in this episode we're featuring something a little bit different from most of the other supercars in the game. It's the 1998 Nissan R390 GT1 Road Car. Different in as much as most of the supercars in the series are just that, supercars. They're built to be the best street cars you can buy in terms of desirability, performance, etc. The R390 was not designed for that purpose. The R390 was not built to be a nice car. It was built purely out of necessity. And why I say that is because the Nissan R390 Road Car is a homologation machine, specifically a GT1 homologation machine. And for those who are unfamiliar with the term, what that means is, according to the rules of the Le Mans at this stage in the 1990s, manufacturers who entered the GT1 class had to make a road-going variant of their Le Mans GT1 car, which is why you ended up with vehicles like the Mercedes CLK GTR, the Porsche 911 GT1, the Nissan, the Toyota GT1 Road Car as well, the Panoz GTR1, etc. Some of arguably the coolest and most hardcore road legal vehicles ever made. The R390 though is one of the rarest unicorns of this class. It's believed that only one was ever actually built and sold in this spec, because there was actually more than one style of R390. There was one with a more sloping back end, which arguably didn't look as good. But this version in particular, the nicknamed Longtail version of the R390, is of course the one that we have on the game. So being essentially a racing car with a number plate, you'd expect it to be a pretty competitive machine, especially considering that it's also a Nissan, which has for quite a while been an official partner of Gran Turismo. And you'd be right in thinking that, because the R390 is a very good car. Now, the specs of the car on the game are, again, arguably, it's kind of hard to tell because there's only one to base it on, but the specs are a little bit off, because the actual road-going R390 is believed to have around 550 horsepower. On the game, it doesn't have that much power. Now, you can tune it to beyond that, of course, but technically that means that the car is slightly inaccurate compared to real life. And due to that inaccuracy, the R390 has always been one of those cars on Gran Turismo which, both for its engine capacity and for its power, was one of the strongest cars in the game. Especially on the older Gran Turismo games, not so much now, but still to some degree. Fully tuned though, this car's 3.5 litre turbocharged V8, which is fairly obviously, when you look at the car mid-mounted, produces a very impressive 923 brake horsepower and an equally impressive 804 pound-feet of torque, which is very impressive for a relatively small capacity racing engine. Unsurprisingly, the weight of the R390 is also very low, at 1,092 kilos. And thanks to that low weight, combined with its high power output, it puts out a very respectable 845 horsepower per tonne, which is among the highest of road cars in the game. The PP on this model is also very high at 660, despite not being a premium model with any significant bodywork upgrades such as flat floors or rear wings, which would usually make that PP more justifiable. So this car has a high PP anyway, and that would indicate that it's a pretty good track car, if not straight line machine. Now, predominantly it is the former. It's a much better track car than it is a straight line monster. Not that it's bad in a straight line. The acceleration, as you'd expect from a 900 plus horsepower car, is very good. The top speed though, not so much. And that's kind of surprising, especially considering, as I said earlier, Nissan is an official partner of Gran Turismo, and the R390 is arguably the most supercar-esque car they've ever made. The top speed, though, is not as quick as I would have expected it to be when I first bought this car quite a while ago now on GT6. The top speed is around the 250 mph region without NOS or draft, which is quite surprising. Kind of like the Jaguar XJ220, it deserves really to be faster than that. The acceleration, though, is very strong. For 1,000,000 credits, it's pretty expensive. It's not the most expensive of supercars, but it is reasonably expensive. However, you do get a level of exclusivity and track potential which does go far beyond your average supercar. As far as handling, it's a little bit more twitchy than the racing version. Obviously it doesn't have a rear wing, far less downforce, etc. Overall, though, it's one of those cars, kind of like the Honda NSXR Road Car, etc., the Nissan GTR, that kind of thing, which has the potential to be a dominating track machine, especially in the road car class. So, that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.